Hi guys, welcome back to the pod. Happy Thursday because this comes out on Thursday. So, yeah, how's it going?
Good. Happy Women's Day. We're recording on
Well,
Women's Day. It's not going to come out on Women's Day, but today is Women's Day. So
I'm feeling very grateful today. I guess because it's Women's Day, but pretend it's not because like when this comes out, it's not. But I feel grateful because I was thinking about today, like when we initially started the podcast, and like remember that time we were sitting across like my bed at mommy's house, like.
no, even worse. We're in a closet. We always talk about this, but we're going to
No, but
shoot
I
on.
remember a specific time where like we were trying to separate our mics because what used to happen at home is when I used to plug the mic into my laptop and we like if this was my little small laptop, one mic would be on one side, the other would be on the other, and like we'd sit close together. So like her mic would pick up my sounds and like vice versa. Remember? So we're like, okay, let's sit on like opposite sides of the room. But how did we plug in the mics if we were on opposite sides of the bed? Oh yeah. So then we put my laptop in the middle of the bed and plugged in the mics and we sat down on opposite sides of the bed and had the mic on the bed just so that we can try and space out the sound and like make sure it was like. Anyways, I was thinking about that. I was like, wow, we really thought that we were gonna like. I don't know what I thought, and I remember like when
it worked for what we had like then.
it worked for what we had then, yeah. But like, and then I remember being like, where the hell is this podcast going to take us? And I used to visualize like studios, like us being in studios like this. And I remember a vivid time where I was reading the book The Secret and it was talking about thinking it, believing it, seeing it. And I was thinking like, oh, I want to be in like a studio where it like looks really professional. And I was lying down by the pool on a towel like this, visualizing us in a studio. And I don't know what studio, like, I don't even know what the studio looked like. Probably something like this. I don't know. But just with like mics and sitting and like now we're here, which is kind of fucked. Because now you should see the things I visualize. And if those things come true,
Well, we've
when
been saying,
those things come true.
yeah. Okay, weekly updates. What do you got?
So I've been taking adaptogenic mushrooms,
Who adaptogenic? Adaptogenic?
like shrooms.
But not like,
No, obviously not. Not
Okay.
psychedelic. Adaptogenetic.
okay. You put in your
Adaptogen.
tea?
So they're droplets. So I take turkey tail and reishi.
Turkey tail?
Yeah.
Like actual turkey tail?
No, it's a mushroom.
Oh.
It's called
okay.
turkey tail because it looks like a turkey's tail. And I put 2 drops in my coffee every morning of each, and then I put 2 drops every night and I chug the
Do you
water.
think these things are a scam? Or do you like, where do you read this that you like you're doing this?
Like
stuff?
scientific journals.
And you just buy them because like,
And then like I go to Healthy Planet and I see all the ones that are there and then I buy it.
but do you actually see benefits from doing this?
Yes, I was going to talk about this. So
Okay.
I'm in a stage in my life where like some things are like a little bit uncertain. Not uncertain, but I'm just kind of like figuring myself out a little bit. And I feel like if this was any other time in my life in the past, I would be so anxious, just like not, I don't know, not very settled in who I am. And I feel like taking these like supplements and like these droplets and these adaptogenic shit, I don't know. I feel like less stressed. And I think it's actually working because one of them that I take is for like de-stressing.
Oh,
Like,
they're gonna say needle because like one of them I take, I thought you were gonna show me
No,
an
what the
injection. I was like,
so I take the reishi one for no wait, I forget. Anyways, one of them's for stress. So like it literally like makes you de-stress. And the other one and immunity. And the other one's for vitality. And vitality just it's like grounding. So you know how everyone talks about grounding, how you should always like connect to the earth. It literally gives you energy, but like not like energy drink energy. I don't know how to describe it. Just like life energy.
okay.
You know? So that's my weekly update. I've been taking that every day for the past 2 weeks and it's been helping.
My weekly update is I've been watching a show on Amazon Prime. It was on the History Channel. It's called Alone, and it's like Survivor, but like next level. Like they get dropped. So the episode or season that we're watching, me and Francie, they get dropped. So 10 people, men and women combined, get dropped on Vancouver Island. Like dropped on Vancouver.
They say it's Vancouver.
No, it is
Like
Vancouver.
you know Vancouver? Oh wait, is it a reality show?
What? Yeah, but it's like real. Like, okay, listen, they get dropped on different parts of Vancouver Island, like a certain distance apart, so like 5 to like 8 miles apart, so they can never see each other.
But
And they have to
wait, it's a reality show.
like I guess, yeah, it is.
What do you mean, I guess? Is it a reality
Yeah,
show?
it is. It is a reality show, but it's not like a Survivor. It's like you have to. So listen. They're dropped in different parts of Vancouver Island. This is the season we're on. Sometimes I think it's always Canada. I think it's a Canadian show.
And what's it called?
Alone. Sometimes the other season was Newfoundland. This one's Vancouver Island. So 10 people, whether it's men or female. Right now it's all men. It's the first season. Get dropped in different
Why
places.
is it all men?
Listen, get dropped in different places of Vancouver Island. And they have to they get only 10 tools. They bring 10 tools and they have to survive on this island. Like there's no crew. It's a self like recorded camera, like
I've heard of this.
like a vlog style, and they have to survive in the wilderness. And like people like give up. They call in like, I give up. I can't do this anymore. But people who are still on the show or still on the island don't know how many people are left until like they say, okay, you're the winner, and they get $500,000 for winning this. And we're watching it, and I was like, I would not last a day on this island. Like they have to fend for themselves. Like if you don't hunt or like drink water, like you die basically, kind of thing. Like you have to eat, like hunt your own food. You have to drink, like boil your own water so it's like edible, I guess. Make your own shelter. There's bears, cougars on the island. Like this guy was setting up shelter and he saw a bear like come towards him, and he saw wolves and like cougars and like the freaking trees. And I was like, I don't know how the fuck these people do this. But anyways, it's a really good show. It's like, it's interesting to see like how you can survive like primitively in nature. Like you can actually do it if you really wanted to. I just would not be able to freaking do it. I like tap out. How long do you think you can survive in the wilderness? Like actually, like you have 10 tools. Okay, first of all, what 10 tools do you bring in the wilderness with you?
Okay, I would bring, wait, so you obviously can't bring a cell phone.
I'll go first. No, I'll go first. I bring a tarp.
Wait, no. Let me say, because I haven't watched it, so
true, fine.
you can judge. I bring a tarp.
Okay.
I would bring, is a tarp a tent?
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yes, like a tarp, like a pool tarp that we have to set up your shelter.
Okay. I'd bring unlimited matches. Well, I don't know how.
I don't think I don't know if you're allowed doing that.
How? Why?
No. I don't think you're allowed doing that. I think some things like you're not allowed. Like you have to make your own fire. You have to know how to make your own fire from like.
Okay, so what? I fucking rub sticks together?
Or like flint.
What the fuck is flint?
Like that shit that you rub against each other and it like creates a fire.
Did you just learn this from the show?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Anyways, I'd bring a tarp. I'd bring. But if I can't bring anything, what do you mean? Like I can't.
Okay, fine. Pretend you're allowed. I don't know if you are or not. But.
Okay, I'd bring a tarp. I'd bring matches. I would bring.
Okay, list 5 things. Clearly, you can't think of anything.
Okay, I'd bring like blankets.
Okay.
/ jackets, like rain jackets.
The clothes.
Like yeah.
Okay.
So I'd bring like rain. I'd bring like water resistant clothes.
I think you're only allowed 2 change of clothes, like 2 pairs.
Okay, well they'd both be water resistant. I would bring obviously a water bottle.
Okay.
And I would bring sunscreen.
And what are you hunting with?
What, you're telling me I can bring a knife, but
You're
I
allowed
can't
to
bring
bring in bows
matches?
and arrows. You're allowed to bring a knife. You can bring an axe if you want to.
I'm sorry, you're telling me I need to kill an animal?
Sal. Sorry, that's my friend's nickname. This one guy like went home because he felt so bad that he was killing like animals. Like he had a bow and arrow and he shot a squirrel or like a chipmunk from the thing and it died. And he picked it up and he's like, "What am I doing?" He's like, I actually made me tear up what he was saying. He was like, "I'm on this beautiful land, like where animals are on living like their lives and like providing for the ecosystem, and I'm here killing them for what? $500,000 for money because I want to prove that I can live here." He goes, "I know that I can live in the wilderness." They're all to a certain extent like survivalists. Like they all like went to school or like they raised like whatever. But he was like, why the F am I doing this? And then he went home. He's like, I can't do it anymore. This is so sad that like I'm literally killing little chipmunks. And it was so small. This little thing, he was holding it up and he was like tearing up. And this one guy made his own fishing rod.
I'd kill fish, no problem.
Fish I can do. That's what I told Francie. Like fish, I just spear them and
I don't
like
give a fuck about fish.
I boil them.
I know it's bad. I know it's bad.
But like, I wouldn't know half the shit. Like for example, this guy, if I were thirsty, I would go drink from the ocean.
Yeah, but you can't. You have to boil
you
it.
You get Giardia. You get like diseases from that.
You have to boil it, right?
Yeah.
See, I know that.
They boil the water. They drink like tree sap. The guys like made seaweed stew, like seaweed from the ocean.
Okay, I would die in a matter of hours. Not die. I would tap out.
I think I can last a day because the first day I'd probably wrap myself in a burrito in like a tent and just sit there like on the tree.
Okay, listen. I don't drink water. I could survive there a whole day just sitting there like this with no food, no water.
I'm meditating. I just meditate the whole time.
No, the second I see an animal, like a big animal, I'm so scared of animals.
If you know when a bear comes, you have to be like, "Hey, bear." hey bear, and it walks away. I was like, what the fuck? This guy Lou was saying hey bear, and I'm like, why is he saying hey to it? And it just walked away. And Frank's like, you're supposed to like talk to it so they know I'm a human, like I'm
I would
here.
die if I saw a bear. I would
No,
die.
cougars are scary. They hide in the trees and they hunt from behind. So, like when you're not
Has
looking.
no one died on the show
No
or
one's
gone
died.
hurt?
The only really big injury someone has had is they like slit their own hand with an axe. But nothing like nature-wise, because the medical team, I think, checks in on you every like so often. And if they see or if they hear that like you're not eating, you're not drinking, they'll pull you off. Like if you're like literally.
Like you can't die on the show.
You can't just be like, no. But the first season, it's weird to see how the first season people like tapped out after like a day, not even like hours, compared to like season 9. That I think the record was 102 days.
I've seen the show. There's
102 days, dude.
I don't know how people do that. Truly.
That's like just under 4 months. They changed seasons. Like you see the season. Oh, it's anyways.
Well,
good show. Good show to like fall asleep to, like a chill show that you just want to like put on.
I just want to go on the record and say that, sorry, guys, my hair is very much bothering me. By the way, I blew it out without the Dyson, and it turned out really good. Petition to get me and Fran on a reality show, please. Like, I think
what
we
are
need
other people going to do?
nothing. People are just going to repost this on TikTok, and we're going to get onto fucking Big Brother or Amazing Race.
I don't want to go on Big Brother. I don't like that show.
We want to go on Amazing Race Canada, but it's so hard to apply to it. Like, I know how to apply, but like the applications are always randomly closed, and then like it's like, oh, apply for next year, and then there's no link, and I'm like, okay, I give up. So if someone sees this from Amazing Race Canada, get us on the fucking show, because
we will do our pitch right now.
We will do our pitch right now. Why should you have us on the show? Because I feel like once you look at us, you'll probably be like, hey, you guys are not fucking doing shit. But between both of us, we combined have like the ability to win.
Superpowers.
Like we literally have twin telepathy, even though we're not twins. Like I will know like what she's thinking and what she's doing, and same with her. And I feel like because she's athletic, like she can run fast, do all that shit, and I'm like good with geography and maps. That's what you need in the Amazing Race. We excel. You're fucking directionally challenged, so like I don't know.
And we both suck in math, so that's gonna be an issue. Gotta practice that.
And maybe good TV, like casting producers. Yeah, like honestly, I'm not even gonna send in a fucking audition tape because casting directors can just look at our podcast and be like, hey, they'd be good for TV. You know what I mean? Like our dynamic is good. And I feel like we care about how we look sometimes. I would literally get lash extensions to go on Amazing Race, and people would look at me and be like, you're fucked. But we would like, you know what I mean? Do good.
Yeah.
Anyways, just like put that out there.
I had a listener put in a weekly update. Do you want to go on the Instagram and check? Because my phone's dead.
You don't remember what it is?
No, and I want to say it wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, if you want to start sharing your weekly updates, feel free. I like hearing other people's weekly shenanigans.
So, she said, I'm going on my second first date after being single. Imagine you were single again. Like you haven't been single for I mean I haven't either, but
okay, you've not been single. Like I've been single, not been single for like a year and a bit.
Yeah,
you've not been single for 11 years.
Okay, it's not 11 years.
10.
Like 9.
Okay, like whatever. Like a decade.
You like age me, like when you say 11 years.
No, I don't. How? Like a decade. It's been a decade. That's fine.
No, it hasn't. We started dating when we were
10 years is a decade.
Yeah, but that's not possible because I'm 26. We didn't start dating when we were 16.
Is that not grade 11?
No, we didn't start dating in grade 11. We started dating in like first year. It's like 18, 19.
Okay.
Anyways, I would not know how to act on the first date. Truly, don't ask me for advice on what to do on the first date because I don't fucking know.
Like asking for advice.
No, I know. I'm just saying like anybody, like don't ever ask me. But that's
yourself,
pretty cool.
Like I don't know.
Good for you. Get out there. You know, breakups probably suck. But like if you're on your second first date, it clearly means that you have your mojo back and you're like down, you know?
Yeah.
To meet someone new. So that's cool.
I just like,
What?
Like going through that like awkward stage with people about like, what's your favorite color? Okay, I'm sure no one asked like what's your favorite color, but like just going through that awkward like getting to know you stage and like kind of sniffing out whether like not you like that person. It's like daunting sometimes. It's kind of like, okay.
I would just like not want to like, okay. You always have to put on a little bit of fakeness when you first meet someone.
Honestly, I'm going to be 1,000% transparent. not with like Francie, my current boyfriend, like I literally wasn't. I thought that he would be like something that like I didn't expect. Like I thought he'd be like really like scary, like not that he's scary, and just very like he just looks intimidating kind of. And I was just like, whatever, but he wasn't. But with like like my ex boyfriend, like I felt like I kind of had to like,
Maybe that's because you
change
kind of knew
change
Francie a bit.
myself a bit, like in order to like kind of make things work.
Don't ever feel like you need to change yourself in order to like match with someone who you like, obviously. But what I'm saying, like, oh, you have to have a little bit of fakeness. I'm just saying like that stage where you're like not totally yourself. So you're obviously like putting on a little bit of like like, yeah, like so what do you do for work? And you're like, I really don't give that much of a fuck. You know what I mean? You
That's
just
rude.
want to
That's
get
on you though if you don't really give a
yeah,
fuck.
I
That means you
guess.
don't actually like the
Okay, see what I
person.
mean? I don't know.
Like I'd actually want to be interested in what the person did.
I don't know how dates work, see what I mean? The tag is still on this.
Anyways.
So, speaking of dates, I was seeing some shit on social media talking about this, and I wanted to.
Okay, I'm wearing the Aritzia jumper, like the Aritzia like short jumper underneath my jeans.
And
Because I feel like the top gives it a nice Skims look, but I don't recommend doing this at all.
why?
Because I have a huge like it literally rides up and it's very uncomfortable. So don't do this.
Good to know. Thanks for letting
Anyways,
everyone know.
sorry.
Okay. So, do you think it is more beneficial for you and your partner? I'm not saying specifically you, but for partners, significant others, couples to go through a toxic phase and come out of it to be strong long term?
Yes, but define like
Mm.
define toxic though. I don't like that word because like
Toxic, there's a spectrum of toxic.
that's
Okay?
what I'm saying. Like unhealthy. When I think toxic, I think unhealthy.
Same. I don't
But
think.
I think in a relationship, you can tolerate a little bit of unhealthy if it means like getting out in a better place. But like when I think I don't like toxic, maybe just a rough patch. Say like, is it beneficial for you and your partner to go through a rough patch if it means that you're gonna get out of it stronger? And I think what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, even relationships and friendships and like whatever, relationships with anybody. But something that I'm learning about myself is that I don't like to be in a rough patch. Like I don't like to be in awkward spaces with anybody. And I like to like get shit over with. So like, for example, if I'm in a conflict with my partner or like, I'll say my partner because we're talking about relationships, but with anybody, if I'm really in a conflict with my partner, I want to get through it fast. I want to be like, okay, like we argue, like let's make up now, let's just get through it. But I realize that like that might hold resentment in a relationship on both ends because I'm not maybe fulfilling my partner's needs when it comes to resolving something. And I'm also maybe too quick to forgive my partner. You know what I mean? And then I end up holding that resentment or they end up holding that resentment because it's like, well, you didn't even really kind of resolve it. You're kind of just more like, okay, let's get it through. Let's get it over with and then like continue like normal. So I think it's like not healthy, but I think going through a rough patch can make a relationship stronger and long term if you both know how to deal with it and if you've both truly forgiven each other for that rough patch. Otherwise, you're going to have resentment in a relationship. And I think resentment kills relationships.
I
I think
think
it's like the ultimate killer.
I think that there's a difference between toxic and rough patch. I think when I think toxic, I think like someone in the relationship or both people in the relationship are insecure with themselves and they don't know how to not take that out on each other. So they're going through this constant like circle of toxicity. Like maybe it's trust issues. Let's use that as an example. You could go through a rough patch of trust issues or you could be toxic with your trust issues. I think like I've had trust issues before, like and that's not on the other person. That's just my issues, my trust issues. And I had to personally go through that rough patch and get over that to come out on top and more secure with myself. But those trust issues, like I'm not trying to boost myself. I'm self-aware of the fact that I used to have trust issues, but I'm also self-aware of the fact that like I didn't pin that on the other person. I kind of was like, I have these trust issues. What do I need to do to make sure that this isn't like pinned on the other person and like makes us toxic? What I did, by the way, was I read The Untethered Soul and I remember this one thing. It's so simple, but you can't stress over things that you can't control. Or no, do not stress over things that you can't control. You literally cannot control somebody else's actions, so why are you going to stress about them before it happens? You know what I mean? Toxic would be a relationship where you have trust issues and you're pinning it on the other person. and that person's like, I don't know why you don't trust me. Like, I'm not fucking doing anything. You continue to have trust issues. That person eventually does something because you don't fucking trust her or him anyway. So
Well,
I'm just giving an
no,
example.
I know, but I feel like that doesn't give an like, if your partner has trust issues, like, why would you go do what they're
I'm just saying as an example.
Yeah,
Or you
okay.
might not go and fucking cheat on them, but like either way,
it might
like
cause them to be like, hey, like, yo, like,
exactly. You're either they're gonna distance themselves or they're gonna end up finding someone else. And then like and then you get back together because it's like, oh my God, sorry, I had trust issues. And like that's a toxic cycle. And the video I saw was basically talking about how they got through this really toxic cycle and it was almost like emotionally abusive, but now they're so sweet to each other and they came out on top. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's traumatizing. Like, why? I would
That's
not
what I
look at,
mean.
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like
I
at that
wouldn't look at my partner the same. I'd be like, you fucking caused me like action. I would not be with my significant other if he at one point caused me that much stress and trauma.
But
That's just me.
that's where I feel like the resentment comes from.
Yeah.
Because then you look at that person, you're like, you said this and that, or you maybe feel this way, that way, and that way. And it's like you kind of have like a bitterness towards
And
them.
there's, I don't know, like you said, there's a difference between going through a rough patch, but I think there's a respectful way of going about things. And when I think about toxic, I think like toxic to each other. Like, of course you're gonna get in screaming matches sometimes with each other. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're not the type to scream at each other, but like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But like toxic is just personality. Like I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like you're
Yeah.
just like mean to each other or like you're legit doing things to intentionally harm the other person.
Or like make them mad or like jealous or just negative like emotions and stuff. I think also like a rough patch, like you said, can come from when two people like need to work on each on when two people need to work on themselves and are trying to navigate that while being in a relationship, that can also cause conflict. It's like,
I've
well,
gone through that though.
yeah, so have I, where it's like, I need to work on this, you need to work on this, but right now we clash kind of thing. So it's like, how are we going to work on it so that we both can, like, it's the whole thing is when you get into a fight with your partner, it's not you're winning against me or I'm winning against you. It's like, how can we come to like a resolution or a problem together? It's not like a win kind
If
of
you're
situation.
trying to compete with your partner on who's winning an argument, get out of that relationship. 'Cause
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing?
No one's trying to win like an argument.
Like, why are you trying to win the argument? That's exhausting. Sorry.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know, when I think of toxic, I don't think you should be like, also, for example, like if you're being mentally and physically abused and you call that toxic, but then he changed and we got out of it, now we're stronger. Like, but he physically abused you and like that's not,
I don't think
that's
anyone
almost
should tolerate
gaslighting
that.
kind of. You know what I mean? That's like just a freaking lighting narcissistic relationship.
Yeah. Anyways, that was my point that I wanted to talk about because I saw it on where else? TikTok. And people were just like, oh, and in the comments were like, we got through our toxic phase. It was so emotionally abusive, but now we're married and like we're good now. And
Well,
I'm just like,
like it could.
maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm
Maybe they
just
went through
fucking wrong,
therapy.
but
Maybe they went to therapy. Maybe they
Yeah.
went to counseling. Maybe they're like, okay, let's either we cut this bullshit and actually try and move through or we're done. And they had like an ultimatum essentially. And
yeah, and like I'm not saying like if you're out there and you're like, we went through a toxic phase, now we're better than ever, cool, good for you. I'm just saying like subjectively, I don't think I would be able to do that. I think like Fran said, I would hold so much resentment and maybe that's something I need to work on myself, but like also no, because I'm not in a toxic relationship, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. If you got through it, good for you. I just think that you should recognize the difference between toxic and hard rough patch. Because there is a difference and like life's
kind
too
of just-
short to be toxic with your
yeah,
partner.
and also like learning when to like cut your like losses at the sense, like, you know what I mean? Like learning when it's like, hey, is this gonna work or are we not gonna work? And it's a huge step, but just learning to be like, hey, we both give it all, we both try, but this is just now like emotionally and mentally draining, and just to kind of like,
you know what though? Now that we're
split
talking
tabs.
about this, like I know I haven't had the experience with like toxicity in like a romantic relationship, but I have with friendships. And like
So have I.
I have cut like because I'm trying to think, I'm like, how can I relate this specifically back to me? Like, how can I give an opinion when I can't relate this specifically back to me? But I can when it comes to friendships. And like now I know when to spot a fucking toxic ass friend. Like I said, competition. If your friend is competing with you or talking about you to other people in a way that's like kind of like degrading you, but not directly degrading you, but kind of like, I don't want to give an example because if someone hears this, like they're gonna know it's about them. But do you know what I'm trying to say?
Who cares?
Like, oh, did you see what she was wearing? Like or something like that to other people.
I've
Like,
literally had people like talk shit about me.
same.
I don't care if I'm saying it. Like, it's in the past. I don't hold resentment towards them. But I've had friendships where people were talking shit about me saying like, I can't believe he likes her. Like, ew, like she's ugly. And it's supposed to be someone who's like my best friend.
Yeah.
So
Toxicity and like should be very, very evident when you're in a friendship like that. But like to me at the time, when I think about my toxic friendships, I get embarrassed. Like, how did I fucking deal with that for that
I don't
long?
think my friendships were they weren't toxic. It was just wasn't like my friendships weren't toxic. They just I look back, they weren't. I wasn't like my best self in those like friendships, and I feel like I was always giving more than I was getting back.
I was gonna say that. Another example of, again, I don't know if it's toxicity, but it could be, because if it feels toxic to you, then call it toxic. I don't know. Toxic is such like an ambiguous word, but like is when it's one-sided. Like you're doing everything for that person, but you're not really getting anything back. And I remember this one situation where I was literally doing everything, like going to that person, driving that person around, being like kind of like the punching bag for that person when they were like sad or upset, and just like having to deal with it. And like I was always there. And then in the end, I'm like, if whenever I have a problem, like I don't come to you. And like whenever I need something from you, like you can never do it. It's always on your terms. And eventually that friendship fizzled out because that person's jealousy showed. Like they were visibly talking shit about me and like saying things that like, I don't know, I don't want to fully say it, but like just saying things about me to other people. And those other people would tell me that this person was saying these things. I'm like, what the like we were literally so close. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's pretty obvious to cut off friends like that. But I'm just
also
saying.
like me and Sam went through a toxic phase recently.
Did we?
I think we did. I fucking hated you at one point. And it was
good to know.
I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was recent in like the summertime kind of. I don't know. We just
I genuinely don't, but okay, that's good.
Okay, well, I was having a toxic phase with Sam and she didn't know, but we would fight a lot.
I always have a toxic I have a toxic phase with you on the fucking daily.
Well, we come out with stronger as we're here sitting here. Otherwise, we wouldn't be. Yo, I totally remember. Remember we had to do a podcast in the garage and I literally didn't record with you that one time? You had to record by yourself. I'm like, I refuse to record another podcast with you. You can do it on your own. I like quit keeping it to. I was like, I'm done with this shit.
And I wanted her to quit because I was like, I don't want you here.
I was like, hey, bye. Have fun doing it by yourself. I'm like, see how many views you get when I'm not there.
Yeah, that is toxic. Saying, I hope everyone heard that. Like, that's the type of shit.
I was angry because Sam, you were being so like, you're just
okay. Here's another. Okay, go.
No, I'm just telling you how I feel. Sam was like being so controlling on like what I was doing. It was like annoying. I was like, let me just do my freaking thing, man. Like I don't need you like up my ass about it. And then I was just like, hey, I'm not being micromanaged on my own podcast. Like, peace, goodbye. You can do it yourself and see how many views you get. That was rude of me to say. But like, here we are now. So
okay, listen, I'm not gonna bring up things that Fran does.
Anyways, I want to talk about. We talked about this before. Sorry, Chris is like,
yeah, because she literally tries to cheese
How
me.
do I try to cheese you? I'm just saying that we went through a toxic relationship. And it was at that point. Like, why are you getting salty about it? We were both talking to each other. My dad to come in and make us speak to each other.
Yes, that was
and
also
he was
when
like crying, essentially, being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you can't like give up on each other.
But the thing is, can I just mention something, which is also why it was a toxic phase, is that you don't even remember what you do that's toxic. You just remember the other person. What?
I forgot.
Exactly. So she just
she doesn't. I'm telling you what you did.
She doesn't know because it doesn't matter. She doesn't like Fran won't recognize what she did to make the other not make the other person, but like I can get reactive sometimes, and
it might have been something where I was like loafing on something. Maybe I was loafing on like a like.
Actually, you don't loaf. What Fran does is that used to do like not really anymore. She knew that I would do things. So she just wouldn't do them because I would end up doing them because I wanted the podcast to succeed and take it seriously. And she just wouldn't do it. And it would piss me the fuck off because I'm like, you're not going to do it because you know I'm going to do it. And again, younger sibling syndrome, I feel like, is you knew that like shit's going to get done for you regardless if you did it. She could just be like, fuck this, I'm not going to do it.
But you could have also asked me in a nicer way. I don't like the way Sam asked me to do things. Or I would do things and Sam was like, I don't like that. Change it. It's not your fucking podcast. Like,
you do that too, though. When I do something, you're like, Sam, really?
Now I do that because we both.
So you do that, but so you do the same thing.
Listen?
No, listen.
Oh
you do the
bro.
same thing.
I can't even fucking speak.
You really just roll the tapes of how many times she interrupts me. Go.
Okay, anyways, it's fine. I don't need to fucking hash out my shit right now. Anyways,
God.
Sorry, Chris. Chris is like the therapist that we never paid for. He just has to sit here and like listen. Okay. So another show that we recently watched, Sex Life. Now, season 1 came out when me and Sam were doing this podcast in 2020, I think, or 2021.
2021.
And we had an episode about it. And now I want to retouch upon what I was talking about in that episode because I feel like no one forgets. No one remembers.
You went back to the episode to see what you're talking about?
No, but I remember. And it was about, and I remember Zia, our aunt, or Zia Kathy, just kind of brought it up too, and it kind of sparked about how she wouldn't watch the show. Okay, first of all, if none of you have seen Sex Life, brief synopsis is like, this girl is married with kids, so this like really good looking guy, and like has a perfect kind of quote unquote perfect life, but she feels like something in her is missing, that like her party girl is kind of like screaming at her to like get out and like let loose, and she's still in love with like her ex-boyfriend Brad, who like they had like amazing sex and like would freaking have sex literally everywhere, and like
which like
whatever, she like misses with her, I don't know. That's what I want to talk about. Like, and we're like to my aunt, oh, have you watched Sex Life? She goes, I don't like that show. It like romanticizes cheating, which it kind of does in a way. Like this lady was not physically cheating with Brad, but like mentally every night would go to bed beside her husband or even sleep with her husband and like think about Brad. And I was like, dude, like, and it was like in a way where it was like, oh, like Brad and I, like like romanticizing it, where it's like everybody should kind of have these thoughts of like fantasy. And I was like, it kind of made me disgusted, honestly. And it kind of made me mad at her. Like, you're like, I'm not saying women can't have fantasies or like miss who they were before, but like if you missed who you were that bad before you were married, why are you married? If you're going around every single city and thinking about, well, me and Brad had sex here, and literally, she literally thought about it like every 5 seconds. Like,
I was just struggling to understand in the first season the premise of the show, but the second season was way better. Do you know?
No, I do, but I'm just saying, like, was she going through a midlife crisis? Is like what I'm asking, because I just feel like that's so unrealistic. Like,
I think it was trying to show that like she did the proper thing. She got married to this like guy. She had kids. She's getting her PhD. They both have good careers. Like, she did what she was supposed to do, but she didn't stop and think like, is this what I really want? I think like that's the simple message in all of this, because what she really wanted was like Brad, the first guy that she fell in love with, and she couldn't have him or didn't go for him because he wasn't like the traditional type of guy. You know, they weren't like getting married and having kids right away or whatever. And so she went for this guy who was like white collar, good, whatever. He's a good guy too. And yeah, I think it was just showing like she didn't take time to really do what she wanted or think about what she wanted. And even like there was a scene with her mom, and her mom was like telling her, you need to go back to like, what's his name?
This is the best you'll ever get or something.
Yeah, it's the best you'll ever get. Like, you can't like do all this other shit. And it's like, I think he's just trying to show women like you're allowed to have what you want, not go and cheat on your husband to have
That's
what you want.
I mean, though. Is that like the best message to say it, though? Like, you're allowed to have what you want, so start having sexual fantasies of like your ex and like go meet up with him low key.
I mean, it's all about how you interpret things. I didn't really interpret it like that, to be honest. I kind of interpreted it.
I felt so bad for the husband. Like, I want to cry.
Yeah,
for
but now
sometimes.
he's with someone. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so
and now she's with Brad.
Like, I hope there's a season 3. It's actually really good.
No,
you know, they're
there
together in real life.
Really, Brad?
Brad and her.
Wasn't she dating Reba's Van from Reba?
Yeah.
They
were married and they have kids.
Aw, they're a cute couple. Van and Cheyenne.
Yeah, and that's it.
No, I was gonna say something. No, there's no season 3. They're not renewing it.
How do you know?
I looked it up. Most likely. Like, what would really happen after that? Then she starts a family with Brad, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, then she starts thinking about Cooper after a while. Like, can you imagine? Like, no, I don't know.
I did want to say one thing. I made like a TikTok about this. Can we stop those TikToks that start with, if you're 25 years old and making under 15K a month, you're doing it all wrong? It fucking pisses me off. I'm sorry. It really does.
Does it make you feel like you're shackled?
I've recently been released from the shackles that have chained me down.
I was watching.
Fran makes fun of me because I said, I was telling TikTok.
No, you're the one who said, you're like, I used like a metaphor, like, look how good it was. And I was like, that's good, but like that's not something like you usually say. So I was just surprised that you said it.
Is that what you said? That's how you said it?
Is that how you actually said it in the car? No, you told me I wrote. Did I say that part or no? Okay.
I don't care.
Anyways.
Anyways, I don't like those TikToks because those used to reel me in. Those used to be like, oh my God, I'm 25 and I don't make $20,000 a month. What the fuck do I need to be doing to make 25?
Follow my course to know
Yeah.
how you.
Oh my god. Let me like look at. Should I be having a course? Should I have my 9 to 5 and a course and do the podcast and get my real estate license? And I would get overwhelmed and burnt out, and then nothing would actually end up happening because you can't put 5% of yourself into. It's 100 divided by 5. That's stupid. You can't put 20. You
Amazing
can't
Grace. Everybody became 200 divided by 5.
You can't put 25% of yourself, of your time, into like 4 different endeavors. Like you need to put 100% of yourself into the things that you're doing. And like you can have 4 different endeavors, but like you can't do them all at the same time. You need to like categorize your life and compartmentalize. And like you can't compartmentalize when you're interpreting TikToks like this as literally like this person's making $20,000 a month. Half of them are doing this as a marketing like thing. They're like marketing themselves as these people. They probably don't make $20,000 every month. Maybe one month they made $20,000. They're trying to teach you how. But I don't know. My point is like someone like me before would have gone reeled in by these things. I just want people to be self-aware of what they're watching and just like interpret things with a grain of salt. Even this podcast, interpret our advice with a grain of salt because it's maybe shitty advice sometimes, but it's just like what we think as we're going through shit. You know what I mean? Like maybe this whole podcast was a shit show and people are like, ew. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking
someone
about.
commented on our YouTube video, no. And I was like, no what? Like the potter?
Yeah. Anyways, that's what I mean. Like just interpret things with a grain of salt because I recognize that the old me would have looked at these videos or people on social media promoting these things and telling me that like at 24 years old, you need to be making $100,000 a year. I would have gotten so like, why am I not there yet? But I've done so much work on myself where like, I know that success looks different for everyone and like, it's not a straight and narrow path. That like, you know what? I scroll past those now. I'm like, fuck you. I don't want to listen. But like, good for those people also, because like, if that's how they make their money, then whatever. But I just want to say that because, yeah, if anyone else thinks that way, like, don't worry, I was there. And I was also going to say something else. It was so weird. Someone commented on our YouTube short to tell us to go get an 8-ball if we're that burnt out.
I had to look up what that meant. And it showed me it was a pool ball, and I was like,
it's not a pool ball.
Yeah, that I read on Urban Dictionary.
Because Fran was talking about, or maybe me, was talking about how we're like, oh yeah, it was you, but how we're so burnt out or something.
No, it wasn't even about that. It was saying like
I don't know what the fuck that guy was
talking
about.
It was like the art of doing nothing. Like sometimes like the best thing you can do for yourself is nothing. He's like, if you're so burnt out, go buy an 8-ball. And I was like, isn't that like a pool ball?
No.
And then looked it up.
It's drugs.
Yeah. I know that now.
Anyways, can we announce the thing that we're doing yet?
No, just wait till it comes out. We've been saying it every episode. They're gonna be like, you're not even doing anything.
Yeah, we are, I swear.
Yeah, so let's wait till it comes out and then we'll tease it.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. To again, like almost like a mini fucking therapy session. But
yeah.
Please like and subscribe if you made it this far and comment on our videos because I read that comments on YouTube videos is what gets them to other people's pages. So literally just even if you fucking hate us, just be like, I hate you.
Yeah, just be like, this sucks.
Just be like, fuck you. Don't care. Like, doesn't matter. I love when people comment like that guy who was like, no. Or like people who are like, this doesn't make any sense.
Why a podcast? Not everyone deserves a podcast.
Oh my god. The amount of people that are like, why do you have a podcast?
Yeah, but you notice, like I've noticed like comments like that are usually on women's podcasts. I've never seen a men's podcast like you don't deserve a podcast or like not everyone deserves a podcast. And it's kind of annoying. And I feel
that's a whole nother topic.
And I see a lot of men's podcasts and I've seen a lot of women's podcasts where you scroll and there'll be that one freaking loser who's like, not everyone deserves a podcast. Or like, these are someone's daughters. Like, I hate that. Like,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know. Like, and you're someone's son and you're commenting a rude fucking comment on a video.
Yeah,
like,
your mother did a horrible
congrats.
job.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That's bad. Okay, no, seriously.
Gotta cut that part out.
No, but it's true. Like I'm not trying to diss the mom, but like if you're a man trying to diss another woman,
that's
like obviously the
like,
woman
that's someone's daughter, like.
But no, okay. All jokes aside, I didn't mean that as a diss towards whoever's mom. We're talking hypothetically. I'm not talking about someone's mom, but I'm saying like if you're a man commenting on a woman's post, like that's someone's daughter, like dissing that person because they're a woman and like they don't have the freedom to speak, like. You were raised by a woman.
No,
probably,
I don't think they're
like,
saying it that way. Like a lot of people just like throw the word around slut, like throw that word around. Like,
oh, they're calling them a slut?
Like that's someone's daughter. Like, ew, so your dad must be proud it's someone's daughter. When they talk about things that maybe are like, for example, if I were to talk about how I said the word sex maybe 4 times, but someone's daughter, like people are just so easy to throw the SLUT word around recently, and it's just pissed me the fuck off, honestly. It's like, go shame someone else. Maybe you. Go look in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic.
Preach. We'll talk about that next time.
we could talk about.
Anyways, have a great day. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.